How's it going? Marty's back, and this is a response video basically to Count Blagorath's Let's Talk About Shelving. And shelving, I felt I could contribute to this because shelving, you know, I'm 45 years old and I've been collecting for a very long time, and shelving has always been a problem as your collection grows. The problem I was running into, you know, being a writer for Metal Maniacs, I was getting a ton of music coming in, and one year I would buy a rack for CDs, and I would need another rack 6 months to a year later, and I could never find the same rack. And I hated ununiform shelving, so I would have these different size racks that were a complete pain in the ass. So I ended up saying, fuck this, spending a shit ton of money on racks that either I don't like, it's all I could find at the time, or I just would run out of space quickly. So I went ahead and built my own shelving unit, which, here, I'm 6'1", and the rack is about as tall as me. Basically, this is a 2x6. These are 2x6 unfinished boards for light construction. They're an inch thick, and I think I bought the 8-footers and cut them down a little bit. So this is almost 6 to 7 feet long. So yeah, you basically just make an outside frame and space them out, the shelving out where you want them. I usually try to give a little bit more space, so for oddball sizes, you know, the A5s still have to go on their side, but yes, I found that since this inch-long, thick board all the way across, you do not need a backing that can just be leaned up against the wall, and it can take just about any amount of weight you can put on there and it will not warp, which is nice. So basically this rack here, it's about 6 feet tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shelves. And it holds a bunch of CDs. I mean, a bunch. And you have to excuse the mess in this office. This is a working office, and my kid plays with Legos down here while I'm working. But I built this rack with a stain for probably 70 bucks, and it has been for years, and I did fill it, and I had to build another one, which here's the second rack, which is a little bit taller, but not as long. It is definitely taller than me. It's almost 6'5" or so. You know, I spent about the same for this, about 70 bucks, including the stain. I couldn't find the same color stain, so they're slightly off color-wise, but I found that this is a way to go. If you have a big collection and you're sick of buying the rack systems that you get for CDs are not cheap. I know, Sean, the rack system that you have, it cost you $200 or $300, if not more. And see how many CDs you've put in it in the last year. That thing is going to be full eventually, and what are you going to do? You're going to be able to find the same rack? Probably not. But that's a lot of money, and all it took were some drywall screws, some stain, and, you know, 2x6 boards. And, you know, you could have this thing built in an hour. No problem. I wanted to, moving on, oh, and over here is the distro section, which basically I have 2 supports in my basement. I just put 2x6 shelves across. So these are the CDs for my distro. Again, and if I have to move or get out of here, I can just unscrew them from the supports and take it wherever I go. And if I need to put an outside frame on it, I can do that. Good space saver, and it looks cool, and it holds a lot of weight without warping, which is nice. I took the same DIY mentality to my record collection. I wanted to get an IKEA Expedit for my records, but the nearest IKEA from where I live is 5 hours south. Wasn't about to drive down to get it, and paying to have them shipped is ridiculous. So I had some 2x4s laying around. I went and bought a piece of plywood and had them cut it, and here is my record rack. It isn't pretty. It certainly is not pretty, but it's strong, and it holds a lot of records. See if I can get a shot of the whole thing here. And I still have a lot of empty space in it, which is good. Again, I just made an outside 2x4 frame, put in some heavy shelves from, really, I can't remember the name of this. It's like a plywood, but it's not the particle board. It's actually thin pieces of woods all glued together. I don't remember the name of it. I can't remember. Eventually these are going to warp. I have too big of a span without any support, but it's been a year and they haven't really warped yet. So as far as my reviews, my videos go, I'm to here. I only have this many more records to show you guys for that. But yeah, that's it. So being a voyeur and looking at you guys' collection is really cool, and hopefully I helped you guys out and saved you a little bit of cash by showing off these monstrosities. Like I said, 70 bucks a rack and a little bit of your time and some measuring, and you can save a shit ton of money, and it's going to hold a lot of CDs and last you a lot longer than those shitty solder or IKEA racks. But that's it. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later.